Okay, hello and welcome to the Black Mind Podcast, the only show where I'm actively doing homework while recording.
I mean, it's, at least you're doing something compared to me and Josh. We're just sitting around talking.
Yeah.
I mean, just because you guys are fapping does not mean that you guys are not doing nothing. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. I know what you guys are doing. Stop doing it.
What am I doing?
You're sitting there looking at furry porn.
So, okay, we're gonna talk about this
well,
first.
first of all, I'll tab out of that.
Oh, okay. I was wrong.
I was wrong. Jeff, just so you know, Jeff watched a show called Killing Bites this week. And he's like, it's all about furries and porn and shit like that. And I'm like, which
It's
show?
basically.
And that's the thing. It's a fighting anime with anthropomorphic animals with more humans with animal traits. That's actually more way to put it.
Yeah.
That would be the better way to put it. But from what I've heard from a lot of people who've watched it, it's like, no, it's actually like a really good show. It's actually pretty fun because like the fights are just like gratuitous and violent at times.
From this fight scene I'm seeing on YouTube, yeah, it looks just kind of gratuitous.
It is very gratuitous, very fighting and stuff like that. Like, I just was watching clips and stuff like that because nothing could take away from the gloriousness of Castlevania. But my fucking god, like, they fucking went overboard with this show because they really decided to give everyone like super A plus tier bodies.
Are you complaining? Because like, have you seen some of the female characters?
Man. Oh my god, man!
Oh baby, Jeff's all over that bunny rabbit.
Freaking, that's the one thing. I have the one
the
comment I
sad part
have to
is
say.
that-
It's always the cat girl situation, and it's never like it's always cat girl and not girl cat. Like,
See,
I
here's the thing.
want them to just go full on retard with the design, not just like, oh, just slap ears on a human. No, go full retard.
You see it. You see it in this episode where you go all the way. Like a good example.
See, maybe it's just me, but I personally have an issue with catgirls because catgirls are inherently the most sadistic human beings on the planet Earth. Because
Sadistic?
they have sadistic.
Sadistic? No, that wouldn't be true at all.
No, it'd be more perverted.
No, more asshole. The most asshole humans.
Because cats are assholes.
Yes, and that would be the reason why. But we'd all love them still because we all still love cats.
I think
don't like
cats
cats.
are cute, but I cannot handle a cat because I would die.
That
Look,
sounds like a personal
Josh,
problem, Josh.
No,
It is
it's
a personal
allergies.
problem.
So that's pretty much that's the personal problem, I guess.
So it's not just a personal problem. It's really just a personal problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Guys, I'm dying, huh? Sounds like a personal problem, buddy.
It's like, oh god damn it, you have to really put this on us now. I can't breathe.
Just grow a spine, man. But no. Yeah, no, I've heard good things about the show, and I haven't watched yet, but
It's okay, I guess. I mean, the big thing with it is that because it's so over the top A plus female body figures and stuff like that, and people with flipping
A plus
APEC.
and A plus male bodies too.
I mean, there's a hippo.
I think I like that hippo because it's just a small chubby body with a giant hippo head. And I'm like, you
Exactly.
can sell a little figure of that and it'd be kind of adorable.
It would be, but like I personally don't like this. I don't like it, and just because I don't like it, nobody else can enjoy it. My word is law. No, okay. I'm going to say my personal opinion right now and stuff like that is that I think that the show looks really good, and I think the A+ bodies and stuff like that are pretty fucking A+. But, like, to put it into perspective of how little I care, which is, like, very little and stuff like that about the show, it has, like, the most, like, epic, like, gratuitous, like, fighting and stuff like that. And then, like, the first, like, opening 5 minutes, one of the characters is basically about to get raped. This is how the show begins.
Okay.
Now, I should probably watch this show because the last show that did that was magnificent and still very good. And it ended this week with a cliffhanger that made me like go, what the fuck is going on? So, yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted with the other clip that you posted.
That was the clip you posted.
No, I mean the first clip was the freaking rabbit. I'm just watching it and I'm like, oh Jesus.
Yeah, like
Well,
that's just the reason why I call it furry trash.
Well, okay.
It's very close to an hentai.
Actually, you know what's even funnier is I know somebody who handles a rabbit farm. You know, for like to make food. You know, the big boys.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And like, well, let me put it this way: about once or twice a month. Yeah, I'm gonna put it that way. So it's actually like pretty like it's not wrong. Like, and the thing is, if it's actually like referencing like the animals for how the character should be acting, I wouldn't be upset by that.
That's the thing. It's like I'm not upset by it. It just annoys me because I think that furries have way too much in this world.
They're entitled to too much, you saying?
No, they just have way too much in this world.
Oh, don't worry. We'll send them off to a planet in the future and we'll never see them again.
Not soon enough, Josh. Not soon enough.
I know. It's not
Alan.
going to happen in our lifetime. It's going to happen in, like, maybe several lifetimes.
Yeah. Like, the only reason why they're so annoying to me is because, like, I'll sit there and I'll be like, yeah, like, we should not, like, do stupid things. And then they'll do stupid things. And I'll see sitting there being like, why? Why did you do stupid things? And then they'll be like, ooh, we just thought it was a good idea. And it's like, oh, darn.
Well, it's crowd mentality at that point.
But yeah, like it's like the furry community has ruined more things I've loved than anything else. This is fact.
Exactly.
And like the fact that like they've done it multiple times makes me like a little bitter, if I'm honest.
About what?
About them ruining multiple things I love multiple times over.
What, the furry fandom?
Yeah.
Like Zelda and
like Zelda.
What's another
like Halo.
Pokemon.
The only good thing that they haven't ruined is porn. And that's because they produce so much of it that like it's hard not to fucking go like, man, that's really fucking good. I don't understand, but like this is fucking good. And like the part of me like is concerned because then I sit there and say that, and then I'm like, oh shit, they want me to say that.
It's when you quietly realize that I just saw a picture that I never thought I'd see it. I don't want to see it again.
Exactly.
No. I'm actually like scrolling through another chat. I'm just scrolling through a chat and they're talking about like Warhammer Fantasy and stuff like that, and like I just scrolled up a single page and all I saw was like Skaven. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then I scrolled up a bit more and there were Skaven tits, and I was like, what?
It's like that. It's like you're like, oh, like it's not going to be bad, and then it's like, no, this is worse.
Yeah, no, like I hate to break it to you, furry porn it can actually get like really, really fucking what like the fuck at times.
Like that one?
It doesn't get it. It's not consistent. That's the thing. And like, yeah, okay, thanks, Josh. Okay. Oh God. Okay. Some moderation has to happen here. Some fucking moderation has to happen here in the chat.
Mine doesn't have tits. You literally posted a scene where a bunny girl gets fucking horny.
Okay, yeah, okay. I'm fixing that. Okay, it's fixed.
Delete all evidence. Delete all the evidence.
Look, I can sit here and look. I'm just gonna sit here and say this. It's like I don't hate them.
Jeff, I can post way
I just
worse
hate
things.
how much. I just hate how much they require attention, and specifically like what it appears to be average normal human beings' attention, not non-average normal human being attention, because that would be normal.
So you're saying that we have a mental issue epidemic through the entire world that no one's addressing and is going to get worse and worse?
That's exactly what I'm saying, you fuck.
I mean, I don't see how, considering, like, the Egyptians literally had a pantheon of furries.
That too. But I'm saying...
Technically, so did the Indians, the Chinese,
and not only that,
Maui, Maui had some. What else? Like, Jeff, you're complaining about this being like a bad thing, but at the same time, it's just like it's actually kind of part of human nature to like humanize things. Considering the fact that I've seen people humanize cars, other vehicles, ships.
That's another thing that we have to talk about, motherfucker.
Oh yeah, the ship.
No,
I love the ship ones.
Too much waifus in the world, man.
Ship waifus are super hilarious.
Actually, there's a game called Azur Lane, which is basically ship waifus, and it's just a fun, adorable little game.
It's just so freaking weird.
Yeah,
or even
I'm not saying that. I'm not denying that it is a weird game, but at the same time, I'm like, it's not bad.
It's funny because Allan.
Yeah.
It's funny because like part of me is like, yeah, it's like these people have a normal life and stuff like that, and then I'm like, at the same time, I'm just like, no, fuck those people.
Jeff just cannot stand other people being different from him and liking things that are different from him.
Well, it's kind of like me going like, oh, I love this band, and they go, I hate that band. I go, how do you live? This band's the best band ever. How can you ban this band?
How do you ban the band with the band of the band?
Actually,
exactly.
And Jeff, you're not making me sound like you. I'm not making you sound like me. I'm making you sound like the left. And you don't like that.
That's even worse. Like that's not even what I'm close to what I'm trying to do. It's what I'm succeeding in doing, but I don't like it.
Yeah. Honestly, Jeff, just Jeff. Follow me with this procedures. Don't look for furry porn and you won't find it. Don't look for furries and you won't find it.
Exactly.
End of discussion.
Just don't look.
Yeah.
So in other news, I'm probably going to watch this show and then cry horribly.
Jeff's going to be like, hey guys, I made a character for this show. And we'll be like, look at the furry.
And then Jeff will, and then Allan will all of a sudden one day wake up with no hands and legs.
You don't know where I live, so you'd have to find me first.
I'm pretty sure I could probably get Rory to tell me.
You mildly twist his arm.
Know.
I'm pretty sure I could get somebody to tell me.
I don't think I don't think outside of maybe one person, and you don't know him, knows where I live.
Exactly. That would be why it would be fun.
It'd be fun to track this person down.
It would be fun in order to track Allan down, not totally stalkerish.
Yep.
Now it sounds like you just
keep saying that to yourself, Jeff. Just remember that.
Now it just sounds like you just want to fuck him.
But yeah,
Alan, I'm just joking.
If you found my house, I'd walk up to the front door, look at you. You'd be standing at the front door. I'd be like, "Hey, come in for some pie."
And I'd be like, "Cool," and then I would die.
Cool, and you come in here like, "Allan, I'm here to kill you." It's like, yeah, you have to go through my dad first. Just a heads up.
Because my dad wants to kill me first. Good luck.
No. He doesn't have to wait behind my dad. He'd have to get through my dad first. And I don't think, and Jeff wouldn't be able to get through my dad.
I probably wouldn't be able to.
It would be. You have to go through my dad, and Jeff would be like, "Okay, Allan, I'm going home. Bye. All right, Jeff. See you later."
I would show up, and then Alan's dad would be seen there prepping the gun.
Yeah, he wouldn't use a gun on you.
Okay, he would be seen there like flexing.
No, he wouldn't even do that. He has we have a weapon that we have.
He would
weapon at my house.
He would look at you.
We do. The thing is, my mom doesn't like having guns to house, so I have my longbow. My dad has
A claymore.
No, a crossbow for keeping back from when he had to help out at the farm. So what we did was we stored the crossbow up at the farm for most nights, so that if wolves or coyotes or anything like that came onto the farm, we had a way to deal with them. Yeah.
Actually, I was gonna say bastard sword. Your dad has a bastard sword.
No, no. If on anything, there's actually a site I want to go to that has like a sword, something called a sword box, where you pay like I think $400 Canadian. And it's a Canadian company too, and he sends you a box of swords. Like,
that's impressive.
They send you a box of swords, bros.
So you're
like,
saying when we get an office we're decorating, we're gonna call this company up, aren't we?
hang on.
Look, man, the only thing I want in the office is a 2 guitars, a wall of guitars, and a wall of
Here you go.
motherboards. Yay.
Here you go, guys.
I also don't think Allan should have like weapons close to him because I
No?
would be
Why would I not allow to have weapons close to me?
specifically in the office because I fear that like it would become like targets.
Targets? What?
I would fear like all of a sudden like we would if we were live streaming a show and had it in the office, we would get swatted and then all of a sudden a bunch of police officers will come in and notice all of our swords.
I don't know why.
And this could not end poorly. Because it's the internet. People on the internet do that because people on the internet are assholes.
Yep. By the way, so he has a box available online for $160 Canadian. It is over $400 value in swords, blades, knives, and more. 10 guaranteed items made up of a sort of swords from the website, blades, knives, and more that I sell locally. I pack them full to the point of bursting with good quality functional sharp blades. The cost of $30 plus shipping within Canada and the United States due to the weight of the box, and each one is about 10 to 12 pounds a higher. So this is a box he ships out for thing. And I looked at the first sword, like one of the swords he has available. By the way, he has the Witcher sword available on the site for $350.
Ooh.
He has the Master Sword. He has a Viking arming sword, which is one of the swords I would want. If he had a Gladius. Oh, he also has another Witcher sword, the Witcher Steel Sword.
Good God.
Witcher Silver Sword.
See, dead?
See, Dad, I'm not a monster.
Might be dead. I'm not sure if you can hear us.
He's probably alive.
Hold on. I think you're dead.
Just tag him too.
Athlon. Well, can I talk about? I know we're talking about swords, but I want to talk about fucking just finally playing zombies for the probably first time.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I also played zombies. It was fun. And my God, I suck at zombies because I haven't played a lot of zombies. It's almost like I haven't played Call of Duty in a while. Talk to me about zombies.
So zombies, I've finally played it for like the past week and a half, and it's actually my first time playing zombies.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Actually, if anything, I might have played the first iteration of zombies. Like I might have played it, but I cannot remember if I did or not. Like I have faint memories of like putting up the ghost boards on the walls. So I may have played the first iteration, but again, it's like I barely remember even playing that.
Ghost boards.
Well, you freaking rebuild the walls when the zombies come out, but it's like
you mean walling up the room?
Oh yeah, but the funny thing is, I call it ghost boards because they just fling up and slap themselves on the walls. So it's like, yeah, they're ghost boards.
There's no animation in zombies. There's basically the only animation that your character actually does is character-specific things. So basically, the boards just float into place and then slam on.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So the term ghost boards is actually a pretty accurate name for it.
Pretty accurate. And I gotta say about like there's 2 different modes to it, which I'm like it's went on so many iterations that there's 2 different types of zombies. One is the researcher, the what's it called, chaos story, and basically it's just like the researcher and the female and the bodyguard and the there's like a 4th one. Anyway, all four of them are constantly jumping in and out of different dimensions, trying to defend themselves against all these zombie hordes and trying to complete the objectives within each map so they can try to not die and get onto the next map, basically. Although this is zombies and it's wave based, so it's not about you trying to.
It's not about succeeding.
Yeah, it's not about succeeding of leaving.
It
It's not about succeeding leaving, because I mean the characters do leave, but it's more about it's a wave based game until you die. So for my first impressions of playing it, I was like, oh, this is kind of neat and it's fun. And I played the Coliseum map on the Black Ops 4. And I was like,
much to our mutual friend's dismay, Noah and what should we call him? Lucario. Much to our friends Noah and Lucario's dismay, both of which have now released an album called Live, Loved, and Learned. Like, they were like basically sitting there being like, hey, we should play, you guys should get the season pass so we can play the Pentagon map. And it's like, that map is pretty fucking cool, but it's also like, and
yeah, well, the funny thing is that I played the Titanic and the Coliseum. I find the Coliseum way better than the Titanic because it's way less confusing and you way less narrow corridor.
What I've seen from the Titanic one is the Titanic one is a lot of corridors, so it's a lot more. It's claustrophobic compared to the Coliseum, which you have. You have three areas that you can like do running engagements with. You have 4 corridors at most. You have 4 small rooms you fight in. Yeah. 4 corridors, 4 small rooms, and 2 to 3 big areas. I can't remember if there's a third or not. I do know for a fact that Titanic has the problem of, because all the medium rooms, like every room isn't like immediately connected to each other. It's a corridor to each room. It can get very claustrophobic and very tight, which doesn't work for zombies sometimes. But then again, I know, but at the same time, because of how these 2 maps were built, which Coliseum 8 and Sinking, the reason why is because these are more heavily based on the storyline for these ones. So like you like go for your objectives, you do the things, get through all that.
Yeah.
And that's the reason. Yeah. That's what I noticed when I was watching some people play through it, because like a lot of people are like, yeah, no, it's a really fun game mode, and I'm like, I don't blame you for this.
I mean, Zombies has always been this really fun game mode that like either hits really well or misses terribly, and like I can kind of see like why people like don't like it, but like at the same time, it's like, I like killing zombies. It's fun, and there's no fucking mode like it. Yeah. And like, if Activision really wanted to like make shitloads of money, they would sit there and they would make a mode completely dedicated to just murdering. Like, they would just make it its own separate product.
Yeah, but you gotta remember that's the thing. That's the thing about the it's
I mean, I would face.
It's not Activision who made it, and Activision only has put it in just recently, and they've only put. And the thing is the company that does it now, that like almost does like the really good zombies. It's Treyarch. It's always been Treyarch. And you got to realize the one time Activision did put zombies in, it was actually the one that like nobody really liked. Whereas almost exclusively, like I think besides like maybe 1 or 2 levels for Treyarch, they've been just like, yeah, no, we fucking loved it.
Yeah, like I would personally, like, if Activision wanted to give Treyarch, like, if Activision was like, hey, we're no longer making Call of Duty games, and they were like, here's this zombie game that's basically all of the zombie maps and every single, like, and an actual storyline leading a bunch of new levels together, like, I would actually be like, oh my fucking god, I'm paying $60 right now.
I would actually, like, if they did that with all the, like, the zombie levels,
that would be awesome.
Yeah.
But you gotta remember, at the same time, the reason why the zombie levels were so difficult and so hard to get like all their levels done and stuff like that, and to get all the story, was because like they were like, it's a wave-based system. You have to go through all your difficult like storylines and stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's kind of like part of it.
And that's the reason why. And because that's the reason why. Like, every level is connected through the story, technically. but most people don't play for the story. They mostly play for like the challenge of like how far can you get. And personally, I would think if you did do that, the story mode would have to be like, yeah, you're trying for these kind of objectives, and like, yeah, you find out like fairly quickly, but it keeps secrets off to the side in case like, hey, this is how we do this, and this is how we do this, and this is how we do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it
like
if it was a little more for me, I personally just like it if it was more tied to each other in some degree of like, oh, this mission is actually the middle mission and this one's the beginning mission of this last mission, of like how where the story leads through each other.
Actually, what makes it even funner is like what you're asking for is actually like if you just follow like as the stories were released, except for I think from Black Ops 2 onwards, I think it is 2 or 3 onwards. Because the last Call of Duty was what, Black Ops 4?
Yeah, the current one. Yeah, the last current one is Black Ops 4.
Yeah. So what it is right now is the fact that they have time travel, multi-dimensions, multiple teams going on.
Yeah.
So it's hard to follow all the stories, but at the same time, once you start following it, you have Primus, Ultimus, the new archaeology crew, and like the one that's from this game, the one that includes the girl, and a zombie apocalypse survival team. They're all interconnected. They all like interact with each other through timelines and gameplay and story. Like legit, it's actually pretty cool when you like look up the story for it.
Yeah, Black Ops has a really like Zombies has always had like a very cool story, Josh. And like I'm not trying to beat you up or anything like that, and I don't.
Oh, ow! Why?
Like,
oh, you hit me! Oh.
Smack him around a bit more.
Oh.
Punch him in the face, penis.
Oh no! But yeah, like I want to say there was the other zombie mode as well, and that was there's the chaos, which is again the interdimensional jumping around different time periods, and there's the other one which is the World War II Nazi zombies. I forget what that one called. It's called Aether. And that one is actually a little more connected to each map, which I presume, because I do remember I do remember the first zombies I kind of played. And I'm presuming that every time you play a zombies, it's always kind of like that World War II version of it. I guess it keeps going forward in time, as you keep that one's a little more connected.
Yes and no. Technically, the way Primus's storyline ends is them getting picked up by basically like the good aliens in the storyline, and then being sent back in time to fight in the Crusades and prevent a zombie apocalypse back then too. And like again, it's like again, go look up the story. Like legit, go look up Call of Duty's zombie storyline, and it's great because the initial timeline that we have, which is from World at War, which involves like Richthofen and all those stuff. The moment you actually like start to pay attention to the story, it's Ultimus Richthofen is an asshole, like a straight up wants to destroy the world asshole, and it just goes from there, and it's just like, wow, that's the starting point. Holy shit, we're going from there.
Yeah, and I want to say for the map design, so far I only played one map from the Aether story with the Nazi zombies, and it's just a lot more continuous running from one point to another, which is like, okay, it feels more story-based, but at the same time, it's just one giant like running loop of a racetrack, which I'm not sure if I'm all for. Because it just, what was it, the jail? Yeah. So you start from, what was the starting point? It's like it's not the docks, but somewhere close. And you realize you're in like a giant junkyard. Then you keep running from the junkyard, and you get to the main jailhouse. And that place is just a clusterfuck of claustrophobia. And like, oh, where do you go? Left? Right? No, left. Okay, let's go right now. Oh no, wait, let's go back. It's just constant running around, and then you go down like to the basement of the jailhouse, and then you come out of the jailhouse and you try to get to the Warren's house, and then you get to the top of the jailhouse, and that's where you get your nuke.
Pack-a-punch.
Yeah, you get the pack-a-punch there.
Yeah.
Then you keep making loops around the racetrack, and you keep trying to like more or less trying to keep the zombies behind you, which is okay. But at the same time, I was like, this is a weird dynamic I didn't see coming from the zombie stuff. I always keep thinking it's arena shooters, not necessarily running laps all over the place. Because like it gets to a point of like, if you're by yourself somehow and the rest of your teammates are up ahead, it's like, well, I hope I don't die as I'm running to them, because it would super suck because you're just like kind of in the midst of them spawning all over you.
Well, like that was what happened to me last night. Like last night, what happened was like I was basically like standing at the pack punch machine, doing idiot things because I was like, hey, this is too good, and like literally, like I just got fucking like diced
Oh yeah,
pretty fucking quick.
That's another thing. What I kind of don't like is if you're standing at the machine and you just deposited a weapon and you die, you lose that weapon.
Yep.
Which
Yeah.
sucks super hard.
Well, no, it's a punishment mechanic for you weren't paying attention. Get fucked hard, and
That-
I don't blame. That's the thing. That was a mechanic they put in after the initial run with Pack-a-Punch in the first few games when they got put in. After the first game it got put in, because the initial run for Pack-a-Punch, you could stand at the machine and not get punished for it because like you if you got downed and somebody else would come up and grab the weapon. And
Oh,
that
I
was,
see.
That was the reason. That was the reason why they put in the mechanic of like, no, you got downed, you lost that weapon, was because suddenly somebody else could just come up and grab it.
I think it was more cooperative if someone else could use it, but
Well, at the same time, I don't disagree with that, but at the same time, it's not like something I 100% agree with.
yeah, I kind of wish like maybe if you got down when the weapon was in there, maybe like some weird side effect would happen. And you'd be like, oh no, now the gun does this. Like it makes giant whoopee noises every time you shoot. Or every time you reload, it does a freaking slide whistle every time. And you're like, and the character makes a note of it, like, and you're like, ah, fucking shit, this stupid gun.
It became the most annoying gun in the world.
Every
Easily.
time you like, but you get like maybe the side effect is like, oh, you got a giant magazine. That's cool. But every time you reload, it does this.
The fact that like you're doing this,
I don't think anybody would like that mechanic because it could. Well, that's the thing is like even though zombies is wacky, weird, and stuff like that, the moment you put something annoying in it, and that's the thing, like the argument that like, oh yeah, you lose the weapon because you went down. That's a punishment mechanic, which is the way that should be, because Pack-a-Punch is like more often than not you get a reward out of it. There's actually a big chance you could actually like get a weapon that sucks out of it.
Yeah.
And there like I think it's like a 5% chance on every weapon. But multiple uses in a row from the same person ups it from 5 to 10 to I think 20. I think it goes all the way up to 30 at most.
Mm.
But
Yeah,
the
it
thing
does.
the thing that I've noticed is like if it put in a mechanic like that where you got down but you still can get the weapon, it just makes that dumb sound. Nobody would use Pack-a-Punch. No,
or you
because-
get real good of like, hey, I need protection by using Pack-a-Punch. Okay,
Yeah.
hold on.
yeah.
Yeah.
And also,
Actually, what a lot of players do with zombies, and this is what I've noticed is because this is what I do when me and my buddies used to play zombies, is we would go down to one player still up, or not one player still up, one zombie still up. One guy would tail him behind him for a while, and then each of us would go to the machine or go to the mystery box and just rotate. We just rotate through the list until everybody was ready.
Yeah.
That's
And then
what we should
and then
do.
after that, we were just that. Well, that's what most people do.
yeah.
And
Oh,
because that's what again, I've watched a few like professional players play, and that's the rule they have is last zombie of the round, don't kill it, go do the things we need to do, cycle through, round out.
Yeah. Well, that's the big thing I think that's different with this one is this one like it doesn't have like a marker that I can find anywhere. So like there are still zombies on the map, and so you'll be like, oh, there's still zombies on the map, and then you'll start doing these things, and then it's like, well, okay, should be fine.
Yeah, there is. It's
Like-
up in the top left-hand corner.
Really?
Yeah.
No, that's the round clearing.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. You pay attention to that because the round changes color the moment you don't have any things. So you need to be paying attention to that.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's with the with the strategy of like, hey, don't kill the last zombo, so we can do all these other things. which is a better strategy than what I've been doing with Noah. Is
Yeah,
you keep running around and wait until the round is to the next round, because usually each character talks to each other, like, kind of story based thing, and within that time frame you can do at least a minute and a half of like, hey, you can maybe get some ammo, or oh, you can maybe get another potion, or go to the pack-a-punch and just throw your gun in there and wait until it pops out.
yeah, because and that's like kind of like the opposite of the way that like I think we should be playing, honestly, because like the way that like I usually play Pack Punch with other people is like we don't run around, we stick together.
Yeah. Well, that's a general given. It's the moment you start to split off, unless you can guarantee that you are on your last zombie, like that is your last zombie. You tend to stick together. You either pair up, you stay up as a full group.
And we weren't doing that. What we were doing was we would stick together, combine fire. So whenever we would meet up, we would just combine fire, kill all the zombies, and then it would be like, oh, all the zombies are dead. Convenient. And then we would run off our separate directions.
Yep.
And like, that was like probably like the most cooperative thing we could have done. But like honestly, like I think that like there's merit to both ways of doing the game.
Exactly.
Right.
One's
But
more,
I will sit.
one's more developer intended, and one's more min max.
Yeah.
Both are fine.
Both are fine, and everyone knows it.
Yep.
Anyways, we should talk about something else, like that has recently been announced and like by golly is good.
What got announced? I'm in the dark with like news related to like games and stuff like that right now.
Oh, well, it wasn't about that. It wasn't anything game related because honestly, let's be honest, most gaming news lately has sucked. Because it's either something terrible happened and we should all care, something great happened and we should all care, or something really disappointing and upsetting because people are fucking dimwits happened. So, really, at the end of the day, I don't know. But Castlevania Season 3 got announced, and I wanted to talk about it because Castlevania is awesome, and everyone knows it's awesome.
Well, that's cool. So what?
Yeah.
What's about it? What's about?
What's it about?
Yeah.
It follows Trevor Belmont, who's basically a giant wine baby this time around.
Okay.
It's not like we're children. Go
Yeah.
die. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, but pretty much. And like I was thinking about this. I was thinking about it, and I was like, remember when everyone like High Guardian Spice got announced and stuff like that? And everyone's like, oh my god, how could Crunchyroll do this to us? And everyone was like, yeah, like, no, Crunchyroll is like doing like a terrible thing.
Yep.
This is like this is a show that like actually every one of those people who sat there and said, I don't understand how Crunchyroll could do this to us, should go and watch, because basically it's the perfect show designed for you. It's the perfect show designed for people like that who want like epic fights and like amazing battles and stuff like that. Like I just got up to the point where they actually are like, we're going to kill Dracula.
Ooh.
Which, spoiler alert. Yeah. So like it's 2 seasons. So like you can probably get through in the first like 2 episodes. And the first season's all about like this is like in this one city. And so the second season's more like we're going to hunt Dracula, and it all kind of takes place in like the Belmont's like treasure troves of like gear and stuff like that. So like they have like weapons that could like kill all vampires.
Yeah.
And they introduce like one of the most evil son of a bitch vampires ever, because she literally sits there and is just like, look, my entire purpose of being is just taking over the castle and then just murdering the fuck out of everything. And I'm doing this because it ensures that no vampires are going to die, and I'm just going to make my move. They also introduce like 2 fucking dimwits who are like fucking, how do I say it? Fargan Mile Fargan. One is like basically African and was like basically a gay priest who was like maybe molested by a priest. We don't know. And the other one is basically like a kid who had a lot of dead pets.
I mean, who didn't have a lot of dead pets?
I mean, like reanimated corpses.
Who didn't reanimate a corpse when they were a kid? I mean, sometimes
I
you just do
didn't
by
because
mistake.
I'm not a fucking heretic.
I mean, Alan, that language is very offensive.
Go fucking eat a dick.
But like basically like the entire like that entire like second season is basically like the main characters that you care about and actually want to succeed are like, yeah, like we're just doing this because it's the right thing to do. And then you get to see like the turmoil in the vampire court, and they have the best vampire ever, whose name is like Gullbeard or something stupid like that. And he's just a Viking vampire. And you're like, fuck yeah, I like Vikings. Vikings are cool. And he has like a great line of like, somebody sits and says, Goldand, all you do is you fuck anything that moves, you drink beer and have sex, and then you make boats out of things. And he goes, what's the raw problem with making boats out of things? I like boats. The greatest line ever. Like, this is like the only show that has actually like made me like not want to go fuck Konami.
Although, is it
Because
really?
like it's actually good.
I was gonna say, is it really Konami's? Like, maybe they license it out, but it's not their choice.
I'm pretty sure they licensed it out, because if it was their choice, they would have been like, what? People like our things? Make a Gachagon game.
Yep.
We're
Quick.
making money? Holy and people our fans don't actually want to strangle us? Quick, fuck it over so hard.
Real hard.
It's not like how Sony is like busy fucking over Japanese developers, which
Yep.
it's funny because like most of them are like, hey, if you want like the actual canonical experience for these racy games, play our buy it on PC. But I want to support you on PS4. No, buy it on PC. Why? Because Sony's a bunch of fucks. So there's that. But yeah, like it's actually a really good show, and more people should watch it because it's really good and support it. And like, I gotta sit here and say this is like, this is coming from Netflix, the company that like isn't synonymous with the anime. Like they made House of Cards, Bright, this Voltron. Like they've made animated shows in the past, but none of them are like this fucking well rounded and stuff like that.
Yeah, but that's the thing with like Konami and stuff like that is.
No, this is like Netflix I'm talking about.
Netflix. Well, Netflix isn't making. Fuck, what's the show you just said it?
Voltron.
Voltron. They are.
It's DreamWorks.
DreamWorks is making it, and yeah. I will freely admit I both like and dislike Voltron. It's a good show, but at the same time, it's not great.
It's a show for everyone.
Opinion. Yeah, it's not a bad show. It's a fun, quirky show. That's how I'll put it. That's the words I'll use.
And you're entirely right. And like the it's like She-Ra recently came out, which is a show that doesn't cater to me. Thus, it must burn in hell.
You know what doesn't cater to me and actually should burn in hell because of fucking goddamn it, GW, why the fuck did you do this to me? This
Guilty?
No. So GW had a Vigilus announcement date where they're like, yeah, this is the Vigilus campaign setting came out today. They showed off a bunch of new models, and I've got the link here I've got the link right here if you guys want to take a quick look at it. Where did I actually close it? I closed it. Fuck.
Ass
titties. And so this is the community chat, and like this is like the stuff that they're like, yeah, these are some of the things they announced today, because there's a few more that they actually showed off today during the thing, and they're like, yeah, no, there's more stuff to be put up on Instagram and stuff like that. And there's some new vehicle, like the Gene Stealer cult, which is basically like one of the bad guys in the universe. Like, yeah, it's basically xenomorphs just actually done well.
It's
Because-
xenomorphs done well.
Okay, how gene stealer culture started is somebody gets infected with a gene steal thing. They go off, they try to find a kid, they reproduce, and it goes from there. And so like they basically like spreads out. Everybody becomes mind controlled. And so the gene stealer that caused the initial infection becomes the brood lord of the brood mind of all these people. So no matter what, it's like basically like a creeping undergrowth, like Cthulhu-esque style story. So you're dealing with like, oh, there's gene stealer cults here. You got to find them and kill them and slaughter them all because they will just continue to spread if you don't. But a big thing about the gene stealer cults is they announced new vehicles. And I play Guard, and Guard used to have a unit called Rough Riders, which were cavalry boys who were like mounted on horse, had a spear that had an explosive tip so they could just punch through armor and blow it apart and then race off. In a time when there was like heavy machine guns and all that stuff. It's fucking cool. And then we stopped getting them. And then Gene Stealer Cult gets this bullshit. And every Imperial Guard player were like, why didn't we get this for like Rough Riders? Like, this is perfect. What the fuck, GW?
It's called GW Hates You. God.
But they started showing off a bunch of like new stuff, like the new Warbringer Titan, which is a like again you see it towards the bottom there, and the size of the model there is basically the standard size of a D&D character model.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the scale to that model. So like if you go to like a game store, Jeff or Josh more likely because he'll see it when he goes play Magic. Go look at the D&D section. Go look for one of their models, and the model that's in that picture, that little tiny model at the middle there, at the very bottom frame of it,
Right.
that is a little bit taller, maybe like a fingernail taller than the D&D models there in the show cabinet, and that's like character models.
Huh.
So
what I'm
that's
hearing is that
huge.
I should buy this. I should buy this, all of this, and then just like fucking cry.
Well, that depends. Hang on. I actually need to go look up the price of something real quick, and I'm gonna
I
see.
just saw the specialty sell. Wow.
What?
I just saw this, and I want it. I want it.
Oh, you talking about the Noise Marine?
Yeah, I recently opened up my paints again.
Yep. Okay. So that's an old concept art of Noise Marines, and that's gonna be a limit. That's not gonna be a limited run. It's just gonna be like a special celebration thing. But I follow like 5 like YouTubers on YouTube who like do like news about Warhammer and stuff like that, and all of them saw it and they're all like, "We're all buying it."
Yeah, I
Because
want it.
it looks fucking cool. Do you want to know who he serves?
Who does he serve?
Slanesh.
Good God, man! Everyone knows that Khorne is the real god.
Khorne is the real god. Hang on. So there is so Forge World will be putting out the new Warbringer Titan, as you see towards the bottom there, Jeff, when you get down there.
Yeah.
The current big boy that they have, the current big boy in Canadian dollars to make a Titan that you'd want, which I have right here, set the way I want, except for maybe that. For me to get my Warlord Titan, which is the big brother to that thing on the screen there, which is I think like maybe 10 inches taller, maybe 6, somewhere in there. The Warlord Titan from Forge World is $2,463.
Jesus
Fucking Christ.
So-
They're ripping you off, man.
No, they're not, because it's resin.
Oh.
Yeah, it's expensive because it's resin. Mind you, now that we have really good plastic, because like we have Imperial Knights that are like really finely detailed models, but the reason why they keep it with plastic is because, or resin, is because it's not just lighter, it's surprisingly more durable when it's in that scale. But the problem is you're gonna get like you're gonna get fucked out the ass because it's an expensive thing to build, an expensive thing to buy, an expensive thing to paint. But the moment you have it painted and built and all that and put up in your corner, you can go online, post a picture with your Titan certificate, because they hand out Titan certificates when you buy these things. Like, you legally own a official Forge World Titan now. Congratulations. And it comes in like your own special boxes too, that nobody else can get unless you order Titans from Forge World. And it's like, geez, yes, I love it. And I hate myself. Like, that's the model that I want to build. Let's actually see. I want to see how much it would cost with... Yeah. If I go down to, like, if I get rid of the fucking Power Claw, which is the big, mean motherfucker, I go down from 2,400 down to 2,400, 2,443 from 2,463. So it's $20 more for a Power Claw. Legit. It's fucking awesome. And I'm not even mad. It's just like, yes, I'm okay with this.
You're okay with it?
Because if I do ever build a Titan, and I do mean if I ever build a Warlord Titan, I go out and buy a Warlord Titan for $25,000 or $2,500. I'm going to cherish it, I'm going to care for it, and I'm going to love it. Mind you, the smaller Titan that you can get, the smallest Titan you can get on Forge World's site is... with all the upgrades and stuff like that, like the weapons you want for it, which will be, let's say, $83 plus $83 is $166 plus $555. That's the smallest costing Titan. So, calculator, please. 166 plus 1555, $721 for a Warhound Titan, which is actually not all that bad. The next Titan up, which is the Mars Pattern Reaver, is only $920 the body plus. So it's about $1,200 for that Titan, because all the arms for it are $120.
That's a lot of Titans.
That's a lot of money for it.
Yeah, that's a lot of money for a Titan.
By the way, in lore, these things are called the god engines of war, because they literally level cities in single shots.
Sounds a lot like Colossus as a war machine, but only more powerful.
The lore is really inconsistent with their size, by the way, too. Because,
of course it is.
Because in some cases it's like 1,000, like 527 meters tall, or like the ones like the lore that they currently have, just to like for scale for us to use to play in game. They're like, oh yeah, they're only like as tall as the Statue of Liberty. That's the largest one that we have, which means they're the size of Gundams.
That sounds like very dangerous.
Yeah. On top of that, they are like literally like walking, like they are like the coolest thing about the lore to read about. So if you want to read about like giant war machines fighting each other, go out, pick up Titanicus. And there's a new novel coming out called Titan Death, which is literally the biggest Titan war battle in all of 40K's history, because they announced that, like, oh yeah, the next Horus Heresy books are called Titan Death and Knife in the Dark and stuff like that. And Titan Death deals with the Battle of Beta Gamma, which everyone's just like, yeah, we can't risk the Crown World or like the capital world of the Imperium, Holy Terra, Earth, being like mauled by Titans, because everybody had like 600, 700, 800 Titans to like basically fight it out. So like, no, we'll send all our Titans to Beta Gamma and have them fight it out there. And apparently it just fucking is just like a ballroom blitz of a battle. And I'm super excited about reading it, because it's going to be like fucking dope as shit. Oh man.
As long as it's not like a... Well, actually, no. What was I going to say? Okay, well, as long as it's not like certain things, and I don't have to listen to you whine and complain about how amazing this book is.
I won't whine and complain about how amazing stuff is online about books and stuff like that, because I know you don't read, because you can't read.
Look, man, I read all the time.
And did it have the video for there for the noise
I
ring?
actually I just looked at the pictures and I was like, because like
You need to fucking watch the video for the noise marine. It's fucking funny. But yeah, no, I got really excited because like there's a bunch of new news that's came out for the game. Like there's a new Herald of Slanesh coming out, as well as new Demon Fiends. Khorne's getting new Flesh Hounds and a new named character for their Flesh Hounds. Of course, there's the Noise Marine. Gene Stealer cultists are getting a bunch of new models, including those bikers, stuff like that. There's a new Chaos Chaos Space Marine character coming out, whose named is Harkon Worldender, who's like, and again, just so you know, Vigilus is basically like the next campaign setting for like the big game. So like, you know how I don't think War Machine ever did it actually, like where they had like a campaign setting where Khador like does a launches an offensive against Signar.
no,
Signar
War Machine never did.
campaigns.
No, I don't think they ever did. They would do these campaigns where basically it's like you have to complete certain objectives to get points.
Yeah.
And then once you get a point, then it would basically be like, oh, you got points. Congratulations. And you're like, oh, thanks.
What this is like an actual like story narrative campaign, because the last campaign they did was called the Battle for Connor, the Connor system. And the Imperium won that fight just by their fucking skin of their teeth. And what they would do is people would record battle reports, and they'd have to post a picture of their battle, and they'd have to report like, here's the army lists. You have to do it in an official store, like either a GW store or a retail store, and the store has to have an address and number, and the store owner has to sign off on it. And it's actually like it was fairly surprisingly strict, because every store had a map of what was going on, and so you were fighting over every planet in the system. And it was exclusively only Chaos. Initially, it was only Chaos and Imperium fighting it off, and then as like new books came out, they were like, okay, we're gonna end this campaign so we can get out as many of the new books as we can for every race and every character. And basically, all this past year has been like, there's a new book for this race, there's a new book for this race every month. Like ding, ding, ding. They took the privateer press way of, if they have the army lists for the game, then they don't need to then we don't need to worry about it. So within the first like year and a half of this new edition, of 8th edition being out, all but 2 named factions have their codexes. And we have, I think, 15, 16 factions. And the only reason why there were some gaps in there is because like December last year they didn't put out a book. January this year they didn't put out a book, and I think in August this year they didn't put out a book. And I think there was a big space for like spaces towards the end of each month, where like start of one month and then the next month it was at the end of it where they put out the codexes. But like they snatched up how to do privateer press way. It was where, oh yeah, this codex coming out this time, this codex coming out this time, and now we've got all but the Gene Stealer Cult Codex and the Sisters of Battle Codex, which I'm just super hyped for because new plastic Sisters of Battle coming. And the campaign for Vigilus is Chaos, Gene Stealer Cult, Eldar, Orcs, Space Marines, Imperial Guard, and Adeptus Mechanicus, although I think everybody else can play in it, but I don't think they're really going to make a major difference. They'll probably put points towards Xenos like Eldar or Orcs, depending upon which faction they're playing. But man, it's just like GW has been like all over us this past like 2 weeks, and it's just been like story point, plot point, keep going. Let's just keep going, guys. Oh man. Yeah. By the way, Jeff literally just got up and left.
Okay.
Yeah.
For a split second, I thought we're all dead. Oh, we all took the peyote and then we dropped dead.
Pretty much.
Well, what else is there to talk about? Uh, there's I don't know. There's an autumn sale on Steam.
Yep. Well, it's because what's it called?
Black Friday.
It's coming out. Well, Black Friday's happening today as well.
Yeah.
But right now it's because they're getting ready for Christmas and stuff like that. So
Exactly. So people are getting all their Steam codes in order.
yep, which I don't blame them for.
Yeah. Although, funny thing is I've been looking through my Humble account, and it turns out, like, over the years of just, like, oh, I like these certain games. I already have these other ones, but fuck it. I have a lot of Steam codes at my disposal. Like, a lot. Like, how many pages is it? 28 pages. And there's like, what, 20 per page? So there's a lot of codes. And I'm just slowly going through them. I'm like, fucking, I have no idea what to do with these codes, so I'm just gonna slowly give them to my relative over time. And by relative, I mean my nephew that lives in, like, basically my nephew's super, like, he's the younger generation of kids that I shake my fist at, even though I'm like, what, 30? And I go, you fucking kids don't know how the internet works. He just looks at me and yeets away. But yeah, and I'm like, fuck this. I never realized I had that many pages of codes in my stupid Humble account. Although to be fair, I did use good 75 or I don't know 80% of them. But there's that 80%, that last 20% I look at and go, I already have this. I already have this.
Yep.
I already have this. Oh, I got 5 of this. Because there's certain ones is like, oh, you just kept throwing this in every bundle. Like, every bundle. To the point of like, how did the developer feel about this? And they're like, I don't know.
Actually, as much as I enjoy Humble Bundle's prices and stuff like that, I'm really just indifferent towards it at this point.
Yeah, it's like now it's kind of blown up into its own marketplace / like different, like, it has 8 different bundles going out once usually. So it's like, I guess it's a good thing. Like, there's books in it, there's music sometimes. There's books about learning. There's one for like fantasy world stuff you can read. So I'm like, at least it's like, edutain, like not edutainment, but like, oh, this is like cheap shit you can get on the down. You can get some cheap shit to read and stuff like that. So that's nice. But yeah, now I'm like, fuck, I got all these. What am I gonna do with these codes? Oh, I guess I'll go to the weird third-party website and just sell them. Just, here you go. Just throw my hand ups in there. Here you go. Be a dirty asshole. Here's all my fucking codes. Here you go. Hope I get money somehow. Yeah, I got money. Now how do I get my money? Oh.
That's life.
Yep. So, I actually want to know, did you guys ever get aggressively buying stuff on Humble Bundle at all? Because sometimes...
No, because I'm not the type of person, Josh.
You're not a person who has to catch them all?
Pretty much.
Oh, man, I have a problem then. Oh, no.
You kind of do.
Shit.
That's why we love you.
We can get through this together.
Pretty much.
Does anyone want a Super House of the Dead Ninja code?
I already have that.
Damn it. Man, all these extra codes and I have no idea what to do with. Wait, I have a
Depends
Super
on what
Time...
games you have.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, hold on. I have a Super Time Force Ultra fucking code sitting here? Like, what the hell?
That sounds like you have a lot of codes, Josh.
Oh dear.
I'm not even trying to be mean when I sit there and say that.
Oh, I know. It's just like I could just keep naming them off and be like, "There's a lot of codes here." I'm like, I have 28 pages of different codes of different games. Actually, let's go hide redeem. Okay, it's 9 pages, about 20 each. Maybe 25. But like, that's a lot of codes. It's a lot of codes. Whatever. I'll just slowly give them out over time. Oh, you want this? Here you go. I didn't even ask.
Kind of the best.
I didn't even ask for it. Here you go.
It's kind of like the best solution is like.
You go to
That's kind of like the best solution, if I'm honest.
go to the dirty third-party websites and sell them.
Yeah, go to the dirty third-party websites and sell them, Josh.
You just rub your hands together and be like,
Yeah, totally not support the game developer at all because you're a terrible fuck.
yeah.
Terrible fuck.
I should do some investigation just to see how weird and dirty those are. Because like I bet
You
there's
know how weird and dirty they are.
I mean they are, but I want to know like what's the hoops? Like what's the hoops you have to jump through, and like what's the different things that some websites have, and like I don't know which one is probably less dirty out of the third party websites.
Mm-hmm. Well, like, yeah, that's kind of not worth it, bud.
Dirty. Yep. I don't know. Is there other shit to talk about? Don't touch my stuff, indeed. Now we'll cut that out, and we got a podcast.
Yeah, very much.
All right. We done?
I think that's I think that's a podcast for the night, guys.
Yeah, I got to do work again. Okay.
All right. Roll us out, Jeff. Jeff?
No, he's dead again.
God damn it, Jeff. Well, you can catch us every Thursday on Podbean, YouTube,
iTunes.
and iTunes.
I think iTunes.
And yeah,
And Furfinity. And
see you guys all next week.
exactly. God.
I get to talk about new models today. No, these are just announced models.
Oh, you get to talk about new models every week, but you choose not to.
Well, no, I don't.
I get to repeat my joke that I made before I was recording. By the way, now I'm recording.
Good.
Yay.
I watched Castlevania. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I've
I
heard.
also watched part of Killer Bites, and I was like, man, this is a show for furries. And then it went on a rant about how furries are terrible and the furry community at large should just burn in hell.
What show?
Extensively.
What show?
Killer Bites is basically a show about anthropomorphic humans who can change into animals. And my dog's barking again.
Post the thing in chat. I want to see the name because.
Of course, you want to watch it.
No, I'm actually curious because I want to look. I want to see it.
Because now it's like, what the hell is this show? And you're like,
Here. You can watch
Oh,
sexual orientation. They're super sexy too, because of course they do.
There's a fight scene here too.
Oh,
Yeah.
this show.
Yeah, this show, the one that like everyone's like, don't watch it because it's terrible.
Actually, apparently it's not that bad from what I've heard.
Terrible, Alan. Shut the. Shut up, because you know what you're right. God damn it, Alan! Stop being so right all the time. Jesus Christ. I hope my joke's coming across well. It's probably not. No, it's pretty good, I guess. I don't.
That guy's a gorilla.
know. It's a gorilla, yeah. It's anthropomorphic furries fighting, and of course they have like apex and stuff
But
like
the
that.
thing is, the gorilla guy still has a human like legs, and his arms are just huge. So it just looks weird.
Because of reasons.
Because anime.
Because anime. Okay, this thing is fucking gay.
No, it's stupid.
No, I'm trying to animate my stupid bird model. And part of the things don't want to move. So. Oh, okay. So now they want to move, but they don't want to actually move the bones. I wonder why.
Come on, Jeff.
Okay,
Relax.
well, fine. We'll sync.
Sinking in 3, 2, 1.